Okay, welcome back for section 9.6. We are looking at slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is just a way that we like to write linear equations. So before we get into that, the book for a hot second goes over standard form of a linear equation. Standard form, which is hardly ever used, is ax plus by is equal to c, where a, b, and c are real numbers. So, for example, if these are real numbers, then we could say this is 2, 3, 5. Okay, that's what standard form would look like. X's and y's are on one side, and you have a constant on your other side. We hardly ever use that, so we'll just get into that later. The first section we're looking at are intercepts. So when I think of intercepts, I think of football. You know, when a ball is being intercepted, right? Something like that. I really don't know much about football, so I don't know why I think about that. But anyway, an intercept is where a point crosses an axis. So the y-intercept crosses the, take a wild guess, y-axis. Okay, and every point on the y-axis has an x-coordinate of, well, let's take a look at that. Where is a graph that I can use? Okay, let's look at this graph actually. So look at my point here. This is 0, 0. What is my x-coordinate on this part of the y-axis? 0. And how about that point? My x-coordinate is 0. So on every point on my y-axis, x is equal to 0. Going back to my notes, let's type that in, 0. That means every y-intercept will look like 0, comma, a number, right? Your y number. Oh yeah, I should mention that Sammy's with me, helping me do this math video. Too bad you guys can't see him because he's being extra cute, minus the throw up that he just put on my arm. Anywho, moving on. The x-intercept crosses the, you guessed it, the x-axis. So every point on the x-axis has a y-coordinate of, let's take a look at our x-axis. Here we go, our horizontal number line. At this point, the y-coordinate is 0, and at this point, the y-coordinate is 0. How about this one? Yep, y-coordinate is 0 again. Let's type that in. That means every x-intercept will look like some x number, comma 0. Okay, let's look at our first example. Zoom out. Whoops. Okay, that looks a little... Okay, I know you can't see all of it right now because my computer's being a pain in the butt. Oh, there we go. Find the x and y intercepts of the line 2x plus 3y is equal to 6 and use them to graph the line. So this is in standard form that I talked about earlier. X's and y's are on one side and you have your constant at the other. So in order to get the y-intercept, going back to our notes, that means your x-coordinate has to be 0. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to replace our x with 0 and then solve for y. That will give us our y-coordinate. So we just took our equation, replaced this x over here with 0, and we have 2 times 0 plus 3y is equal to 6. Well, 2 times 0 is just 0. So I really just have 3y is equal to 6. Then you need to isolate y, get y by itself. That means dividing, since this is 3 times y, you need to divide by 3, and you need to do that to both sides. Then you are left with y is equal to 2. So here's your y-intercept, 0, because that's the x that you used, comma 2. And every y-intercept will have the x-coordinate of 0. Now we're going to do the same thing with y. In order to get the x intercept, we need to substitute 0 for y. So I'm rewriting this. 2x plus 3 times 0 is equal to 6. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, so it's really just 2x is equal to 6. Divide each side by 2 to isolate x. These 2's cancel. You're left with x is equal to 3. And that's one way of graphing a linear equation, is by graphing the two intercepts. Like I said, you only need those 2 points, right? So once you have those 2 points, you just draw a straight line through it, and there you go. That's that. Okay. Slope-intercept form. This form is the easiest way to graph a linear function. And just like its namesake, okay, it is a form that involves slope and it involves an intercept. And in this case, it involves a y-intercept. Okay, so the slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, chill out, baby. Okay. Oh, gross. Okay, y is equal to mx plus b. M represents the slope, and we talked about that at our last lesson. And b represents the y-intercept. And I'm just going to write y-int. That's what it means, y-intercept. And that's located at that point 0, comma b. So whatever b is going to be your y-intercept. Let's look at example number 2. Okay, find the slope and y-intercept of the line y is equal to 3x minus 2. Okay, so here is that form, y is equal to mx plus b. And m is equal to slope. Y is equal to, m is equal to slope, and b is your y-intercept. And that's all they're asking for, right? So that means all I have to do is find m, which is 3, so that's my slope. And then b is negative 2, and that is my y-intercept. And it's as easy as that. Example number 3 has you just changing this from standard form into slope-intercept form, which means you're just solving for y. Okay, that's all you have to do. In this case, you're going to subtract each side by 2x. So then you have negative y is equal to negative 2x plus 10. But we can't graph negative y. We like to just see a plain y. So he can divide everything by negative 1, or multiply everything by negative 1, or just say it's opposite world and make everything the opposite. I don't really care. I just needed to see y is equal to 2x minus 10. Okay, in this case, they divided each side by negative 1. Again, it doesn't matter if you divide or multiply. Everything just needs to be the opposite of how it is right here. Okay, so we have example 2 and 3, and then we have a few more, just these last bit of notes to get through. And then I can put Fussy Baby down. Sorry for the extra noise. Okay, use slope-intercept form to graph the line y is equal to 3x minus 2. So the reason why we're saying that this is the easiest way to graph is because we can tell from here, okay, that our slope is 3 and our y-intercept is negative 2. When our slope is 3, that means that we're going up 3 and over 1, because 3 is the same as 3 over 1, and 3 is the rise and 1 being the run. Oh, and that's right here. Wonderful. And so when we're using slope-intercept form to graph, we're going to start at the intercept. So we said negative 2 is the y-intercept, so we're going to put a little dot at negative 2. Here we go, on our y-axis. And our slope is 3, so we're going to count 1, 2, 3 over 1. And if you wanted to be extra sure or whatever, you can write another, you can make a third point, go down 3, and then to the left 1. It's just the opposite. So instead of going up and right, you go down and left, and there you just draw a line through it, put your little arrows, and that is your line. And this is just adding a little bit more extra work. You need to solve for y to make it into slope-intercept form, and then you can graph it. So we have 2x plus 3y is equal to 3. Subtract each side by 2x, which is what is being done here. You're left with 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. Divide every term by 3 in order to get y by itself. And that is what gives you y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 1. Okay, and fractions are not bad when it comes to slope. It's pretty easy because that means I'm going up 2 over 3. I guess not really up 2 because this is negative. I guess you can still go up, but you go left instead of right. And just remember that when you're drawing this, that because my slope is negative, I have this big old negative sign in front of it, that my slope does need to go downhill. Okay, needs to go down. Ooh, how did I make that check mark? What? Oh, snap. I don't know what I did. I don't know. Okay, plus 1 is our y-intercept. Let's start at 1. Boop, right there. Then we're going to go up 2 and then to the left 3. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2. Going to the left, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's our second point. We could just draw a straight line through that, or you can make sure that you understood it correctly and make a third point. In that case, you're going to go down and right because this is negative. Once again, 1, 2. That's my rise. Let's do our run. 3. 1, 2, 3. There's our third point. Put the line right through it, and that is done. All right, so here are the steps. You could copy it straight from the book here. That's totally fine. I pretty much did the same exact thing over here in the note packet. So solve the equation for y, plot the y-intercept, find the, and this is ratio, rise over run, and starting at the y-intercept, use the slope to graph the other points. Draw a circle. No. Draw a line through the points. Okay, guys, this is not really complicated. With more practice, you guys will become experts on this. I am super confident of that. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys at the next video.